So if you've just tuned in, totally appreciate that you're making time for me. In a moment, I will share about my entrepreneurship journey, the before and after, all 10 years in 10 minutes. So bear with me. Let's have a chit chat towards the end. Keep those questions coming in and I'll give you my best answer the best way I can. Do visit my business page as well. The link is given right below. Awesome. Without further ado, again, my name is LiKuen. It's a Chinese pinyin pronunciation to my name. Li stands for beauty, Kun like diligent, you know. Sounds interesting? I love my name. It's who it says I am. You can call me Lily, that works great too. I belong to the Chinese dialect group of Cantonese. Both of my late parents are both Cantonese and Dusun Bisaya. I speak and understand both Cantonese and Dusun Bisaya. And I'm also literate in Mandarin, Hokkien, and Bahasa Melayu. Assuming you may be curious, what is Dusun Bisaya? This is a minority group in Eastern Malaysia with a very unique culture and language of their own. If you've heard the Ibans or Dayaks, well, Bisaya is just one of the many so-called tribes living in Sarawak or Eastern Malaysia of Sabah. I'll just say a word or two so you have a chance to listen and hear what the language Bisaya sounded like by naming our facial features to start with. Mato is our eyes. Kabang is our mouth. Telingo is our ears. Adung is our nose. Abuk is our hair. And there are a lot more. The rest for the next time. I was born an East Malaysian but moved about a lot when I was young. I suppose that's how early I became a frequent traveler and learned about different countries and cultures. I was trained in graphic design and did projects for billboards, brochures, magazines, etc. and enjoyed photography, especially the equipment that comes with it. It used to be something I'd do as a side hustle while I studied to make ends meet. Fashion models, beauty ads, with the most popular being graduation photos, until I became an aircrew back in 1994 and had served SIA for a good 17 years. At the peak of my career, I gave up flying when I was blessed with a child at 35. That's pretty late if you ask me. So the iconic sarong kebaya was shoved right to the back of my closet. Here I am today, paying it all forward, spreading awareness to all who might be facing the same crisis in life, or maybe not. Either way, we are always given a choice to make a difference. Life is not a sentence, but an opportunity to leave a meaningful legacy for people that we care about and want to hold on to. But when it's our time to go back to the Lord, at least we leave something meaningful for them, see? What you didn't know is that before I became a 24/7, 365 mom and growing my digital business from places where I feel most creative, there had been so many moments of heartbreaks and disappointment in my personal life. I told myself, the sweetest payback is to be stronger, wiser, and better than the naysayers who wanted to see me struggle and fail as a solo parent. The learning never stops. Regardless of the circumstances, good or bad, we should never neglect self-learning and improvement. Knowledge is the best gift for ourselves, and with that empowerment, we make better decisions in life. We should never be complacent. If you're a homemaker like I once was, you too can be that caregiver who's good in both fronts, as an entrepreneur and a present parent or caregiver. We all start from somewhere. Nobody is an overnight expert, you know. For as long as we're willing to step out of our comfort zone and step up to our calling to be better, stronger, and wiser, we can. Perhaps considering to build your very own digital business as a side hustle, that can work too. It may be a plan B turning to plan A someday. You never know. But if you don't try, it's a confirmed no. If you try, at least something happens, you know? I was diligent in my responsibility as a new mom back then after I quit from SIA. And I thought, well, being a wife, being a mom, that's the world that I love to be in. As a homemaker at 35, I stayed home for 6 long years, Here's the thing upon looking back to that moment right now, I was actually living in a bubble, oblivious to the outside world. The sad thing is, my marriage eventually broke down when the trust was broken more than once, suffered depression. I had lost my sense of worth and felt disconnected without my circle of friends because I thought family life that consists of my ex and my son, that was everything that I need. But of course, we are dealing with people, people do let you down sometimes, but that is in the past, right? I felt unappreciated back then and felt neglected. There was a saying that a person's value is known when they are at the right place and the right time with the right people that makes them truly shine. I was at the wrong place and I needed to address it. While faced with the personal crisis and divorce, the biggest blow was losing my late mom to a terminal cancer in May 25th of 2016. She had been my biggest supporter. Within 2 weeks of being diagnosed of cancer, she was gone. I was totally broken. She was my only pillar of strength and person whom I can trust fully, and was able to make me feel that I can do no matter what difficulty that I face, I can still overcome it, but she's gone. What saddens me most was despite feeling so sick, she had hidden it so well with occasional complaints of stomach aches, which she simply take painkillers and rested. You want to know what is my biggest regret? Well, my biggest regret was not being able to do more for my late mom. We should all live life with purpose, live it grand, and be surrounded by love. Don't leave anything for tomorrow. If you have now, you have today, give your best. Don't expect anything for return, because you never know. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So, back to the topic, for the sake of my own mental health, finding back my self-worth. And to be that strong pillar for my child, I was determined to step up and be strong like my mom did for me. During the 6 years that I was a stay-at-home mom, I lost my position to negotiate for jobs with better benefits when I decided to come back to work. I was foolish to not have any backup plan. I learned the best gift one can give oneself is knowledge and be well informed. Never stop learning the necessary skills and be relevant to the world. You never know the next generation like me, my son. He's looking up to me. And I can't live life without thinking for his future, because every mom, every parent, they love their kids. So they want to do what is best for them. Mothers who gave up their career and gave up their all for their family is yet to be recognized as anything of value except a big help in cutting costs to family expenditure, and that is sad. Our emotions and needs are often neglected. At some point, I figured I got really exhausted and wanted change. That things are slowly spiraling out of control. I chose to start anew, solo parenting. Initially, it was tough finding a job to support us both. This was due to my long absence from the workforce. I spent many restless nights worried about making ends meet. Roof over our heads, yet I was determined to make everything work. I knew if my willpower is strong, I can overcome all. I just needed the right opportunity. I've never prayed so hard in my life. A miracle happened out of the blue. A friend approached during my darkest moment asking if I'd be available to teach at a church kindergarten. So this was the beginning of how I became an educator. For the next 7 years, I was facilitating the primary and preschoolers. After losing my home, another apartment became readily available just next to the school. That I would say today, God's fingerprint in my life as He watches over both my son and I. It was in October of 2021, a work injury that affected my cervical spine at C3, 4, 5, and 6 right here that forced me to rethink my future as a single parent. I couldn't afford to work or the bills would pile up. Once again, I prayed really hard for a miracle. For a good 18 months, I was home rested. I was mindlessly scrolling on my social media feeds daily, sending out resume that has no reply. Then I came across a familiar face of an ex-colleague, and she told me about this great opportunity to earn while I learn at my own pace. So Winnie, if you're looking in, thank you for what you've done for me. I was immediately interested and went ahead to invest in my own future and my son's. I knew then that if opportunity doesn't come to me, I will create one for myself. If no one is hiring me because they think I'm a liability as a single parent with a kid, and a mild disability at that, I will be my own hirer. I'll hire me because I know for a fact becoming my own boss gives me that true flexibility to be 24/7, 365 mom to my son. I get to earn, learn, build, and grow my own digital business. This is the wonderful part of becoming an entrepreneur, building my own business. I get to learn from the right people, using the right tools, all at my own pace. That was a whole great deal not to be missed. Our relationship also gotten better, and I was able to have more bonding time with my son. My son is my biggest reason I'm building my digital business. There will come a day that I'll go back to the Lord as his mom. I wanted to be very sure that this future is protected and that it provides for his needs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Tomorrow at the same time, I'll be sharing more on another topic. Thank you again for your patience. I'm so sorry for the blunder earlier on and getting a little bit emotional as well. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Bye.